Greetings, mortals, and welcome back to Planescape Torment. So, when last we left off, we had just cleared out a decent section of these crypts, and we're preparing to continue on. Now, I've since done some googling around it. You know, I'm the kind of person where I want to have sort of a I'm always conflicted between trying to get an optimal build and doing doing the RP that I want, as well as like, I don't know, wanting to have it be somewhat hidden in terms of, I still don't know like all the plot and how where everything's going. So at any rate, so I did a little bit of looking. Like, I wanted to know, for instance, like, how does Constitution affect regenerates and things like that. Anyway, so looked. I was looking around, and I think I have settled now on how I'm going to build the character from here on. From here on, I'm pretty much just going to dump points in Constitution, and I'm going to level him as a fighter up until I hit level 13 to get access to all of the delicious fighter bonuses, and then I'm just going to level him as a mage from then on in. So we have 7 levels that we're going to be getting in the near future, so to speak, and we're just going to start putting points into Con continuously for that entire time. In terms of the other stats, I'm going to prioritize Constitution until I reach the point that it has gotten where I want it to be. Then I'm going to be dumping points into Strength until it gets to 17. Until it gets to 18, and then I'm going to be ignoring it for the entire game because I can just get it to the places that I need to be with tattoos, and I can then start pumping Dex. So I'm going to be pumping Con, Strength, and Dex, and leaving these 2 stats where they are. Charisma, from an RP standpoint, I'm leaving where it is. There will be certain times where I will be using the Friend spell to pump up my Charisma, specifically for getting other stat boosts, but that's about it. So anyway, we can go ahead and pop in here now. We're going to... You know what? No. The other thing is that I put these kind of arbitrary, like, restrictions on myself sort of by default. And rather than continue doing that, I'm going to leave this place because there's no reason for me not to leave. There's no, like, RP reason why. I just don't want to waste 1 junk. I'm dead serious. That is the entire reason that I didn't want to come back out here, is I wanted to save 1 junk. So for some reason these guys are attacking me. That's unexpected. I wasn't expecting to be attacked here.
Sure, why not?
I'm hurt.
I'm in a bad way. Okay, so those guys are actually attacking me. I don't know why they're attacking me. I'm gonna reload. This isn't the right save. Just gonna let the autosave. Okay, yeah, this should be the correct autosave. Alright, so we need to take a look here. Do I want to rest? No. Do I want to fight these guys? Not really. So I don't know why these guys are gone aggro, but I'm going to pull back for now. And I'm going to come back for them. Now, the reason that I'm just leaving and coming back is that I do intend to just come back here. So I don't see any reason to fight them right now. I'm just going to
walk away. I don't actually know why they're attacking. They might be attacking because I killed the guy who was guarding the gate. But nobody else seems to be paying any attention to that, so let's see here. Do I even need to use a junk? I might not even need to use another junk in order to open up that gate. It might just be permanently open now. In any case, we are going to head to Fell's Tattoo Parlor. And we have a few things that we're going to be doing there. We're going to be picking up a +2 Constitution tattoo for our dear friend.
All right.
And we are going to be picking up whatever other tattoos we can grab.
All right.
It's cold out here. So down we go. And we can...
All right.
So once we have Constitution regen going for Dacone, our lives become a lot simpler. At that point, Dacone should be regenning fast enough that he might be able to basically just solo his way through the content that we're coming across pretty effectively. Guess we'll find out.
Enduring, grow strong.
Oh, he actually has the Identify spell on him now. Let's go ahead and identify this. So this gives a permanent +1 to Constitution for lawful good characters. We can go ahead and give that to him. We can go ahead... Do we want to identify the pipe? We have 2 of these enchanted pipes. And we have an enchanted dagger. Let's save this.
Done.
And we're going to talk to our friend Fell here. What's wrong, Anna? Are you daft? Are you so piggy at a dance in the lady's shadow that you'll bandy words with this one? Let's get back to the place. Give this place the laugh, and we'll get penned in the dead book. So what's the problem? It's Fell. Let's be away, aye? No good will come of being here, so it won't. So what's the problem? He's a Dabbus who's not a Dabbus, aye? He walks on the ground. No more questions. Let's give this place the laugh, aye? No harm will come to you while I'm here. Fell's a Davis who angered her. It said he's a Davis who isn't a Davis. Or Dabbus. One of the two. And the time's close when the lady's gaze will fall on him, so to speak. Let's see. I know who she means. I'm just going to go with number 2. We'll be gone in no time. It's all good. Please, nay, nay. No good will come of it. Anyone speaking to Fell will draw the lady's gaze. I don't want to die. I don't... Okay, we're going to go ahead and give her an oath of supreme protection. I don't know why. Go on then, talk to him. I don't care. Alright, Dacone, can you translate for me? Fell examines it for a moment and tracing the patterns on his finger, he looks up and sees a series of Rebus's form, hazy at first, then come sharply into focus. This arm is yours. The tattoos are mine. One tattoo speaks of a time when your path was shared by 4 others. So what did he say? Dacone? The arm is yours, the tattoos are his. Okay. Did he say anything more than that? Dacone is silent for a moment, and suddenly, instinctively, you know Dacone is lying to you. He continues with his dead level tone. The rest of the symbols are not known to me. Okay, why are you lying to me? Dacone falls silent again. He does not turn to look at you. He seems to be staring at something leagues away. The symbols, there is no good in knowing the answer to what you seek. Since when has not knowing the truth of something ever really helped anyone? The counselor who counsels ignorance betrays his station.
Updated my journal.
There is truth in your words. That truth should be known to me. Dacone is silent for a moment, then he turns to you, his eyes hardened. The symbols speak of 4 who have traveled with you in the past. So what 4 are these?
Updated my journal.
Symbols swirl before you, and you piece them together. 1 unloved who loves one who does not love. 1 who does not see what others see and sees what others do not. 1 who is familiar and bound with duty. 1 who is a slave and his chains are words. So, this is presumably Dayanara, we can assume. And let's see if I can remember. Someone mentioned the people that were traveling with me when I was with Dayanara, and I don't remember what they were. I don't remember what they looked like. So, as you finish translating, the 4 strings seem to form symbols into links, and they merge into a chain. The chain bends until a symbol you feel you recognize. Dacone isn't even looking at the symbol. The tattoo speaks of 4 minds. 1 was a woman who loved a man who knew her and knew not love. The other is a blind man who saw things no mortal eye could see. Another was a familiar, a mage's pet, bought and bound. The last was a slave. A familiar? So why didn't you want to tell me this? The 4 are bound with a symbol that is known to me. What symbol? The symbol sharpens, gaining edges that are almost painful to your eyes. It is Torment. It is that which draws all tormented souls to you. Fel nods at your left arm, at your shoulder. The flesh knows it suffers even when the mind has forgotten, and so you wear the rune always. The symbol is Torment. He says you've always worn it, for the flesh knows that it suffers even when the mind does not. Okay. Tell me everything you know about the 4. I will not speak of it here. Ask when what we speak of will only be for the ears of those that walk with you. Okay, does Fel say anything else about the tattoos? So, Fel examines the arm again, tracing their faded tattoos upon its surface. As he does, they each appear as a symbol above his head, hazy at first, then coming into focus sharply. He turns to face you, once forgotten, now remembered. You may wear them again if you wish. Okay, so let's see what tattoos he has available. So we have the tattoo of Anna, the Restless Dead, Bone Singer. Here's the tattoo of the last incarnation. So this grants experience points when invoked and increases regen rate. So we're going to go ahead and buy this. We can go ahead and equip that to our dude. We can go ahead and grab the tattoo of greater health for Dacone. Do I want to be... Yeah, it doesn't matter. So, tattoo of enduring. Tattoo of warding. Greater warding. The greater warding one is tempting to buy, but I don't think I need to do that. So, we have a +1 wisdom tattoo that we could buy. Okay. So we can use all these tattoos that give me bonuses to a variety of things. Tattoo of the Bone Singer gives Hold Undead. Tattoo of Accuracy. I'm quite tempted to get the Greater Warding tattoo because it would dramatically boost the AC of whoever I gave it to. I'm gonna go ahead and buy it. Alright, so I can now save the game, and we can give Dacone these tattoos of his. So this gives him +2 AC. He's now got, well, -2 technically. So he's now got -6 AC, which is really good. And we can give him the Tattoo of Greater Health as a replacement for the Tattoo of Revelation. +2 int doesn't help him much. So let's see here.
It couldn't hurt you to say a few words to me, Fiendling.
Oh, aye, it could. Hurt you, that is.
An amusing little aside. So let's see how quickly he regenerates.
I hear your words.
Not very fast. Not fast at all, turns out. Oh well.
All right.
You know, it's tempting to pick up even more Constitution stuff. Just dump more and more Constitution onto Dakon. Because I could get his Constitution up. If I gave him 3 tattoos of Constitution, I could get up to 22, but I'm not going to do that. Okay, so let's see. We've got all of our EXP tattoos equipped. Let's go ahead and give a nice talk to Dakon.
What is your will?
Okay. So, let's do this. Okay, what 4 are
Updated
these?
my journal.
The tattoo speaks of 4 minds. One was a woman. Okay, so this is something that we've already talked about. He already said this. So which one was you? Were you the slave? Dakon is silent for a moment, and the surface of his blade swims as if in turmoil. Know that this one owed you a service, and owing this to you, it became his slavery. So how did this come to be? Know the tale is long. The matter is between me and the other that was once you. Know that if you hear it, know it shall be a long tale. Okay, I would hear it. Upon the rolling plain of limbo, the people shape cities from the chaos that is their thoughts. Know that there is no place for a divided mind. Dakon raises the blade from his shoulder and holds it before him. As he stares at it, it sharpens until it's almost as thin as a piece of paper. A divided mind is an unfocused mind. A divided mind fractures walls and weakens stone. Many divided minds may destroy a city. Long have I known the words of Zerthamon. Through my voice, many have come to know the words of Zerthamon. The Zerth protect the community from all threats, whether of body or mind. They are the guiding stones in the chaos. For it came to pass that I spoke the words of Zerthamon without knowing the words of Zerthamon. It came to pass that I no longer knew myself. No. I knew the words, yet it came into my heart that perhaps others did not know the words of Zerthamon, the words as Zerthamon knew them. And so division formed. As my mind became divided, those who looked to me as guiding stone became divided. Many scores of Githzerai, many hundreds of scores of Githzerai doubted. Shrek Lord died that day. The enemies of Zerthamon came. Know that their hatred of his words and the people lent their blades strength. Know that they sensed the weakened city and they brought war with them. Many Githzerai drowned in the chaos and beneath the blades of our enemies. Small beads of metal appear on the surface of the blade as if blistering. Know this happened a long time ago. As I fell from the walls of Shraklor, know that myself was broken. My blade was missed, my mind divided. I was adrift upon Limbo's seas, and I wished to drown. I died for days, my mind awash in division. When death finally came to me, it wore your skin, and it had your voice. You ask that I hear you. As Dakon says the word, your vision bleeds outward, and a crawling sensation begins to worm its way through the back of your skull. You feel nauseous for a moment, and your vision is suddenly as chaos, smeared, twisted, and you are someplace else, someplace in your past. Surrender to it. Everything around you is in turmoil. Your vision is hazy, swirling, dizzying. All at once there is mist, pockets of fire, islands of mud, stone, ice-covered rocks swimming through the plain like fish, impacting and dissolving, droplets of water arcing through the howling air and lashing at your skin like teeth. You choke back your nausea and you steady yourself. This is the plane of limbo. All this chaos, nothing is stable. You focus on the dying man that lies before you. It is why you have come to this place. So, we're just following the footsteps of what went before. We don't actually have any choices here. The man is a Githzerai, his body embedded with earthen pocket, in an earthen pocket that swirls around him unconsciously. He has formed a grave from the elements, and though bits of fire and water lick at his face, he does not respond. His hands are ashen and coal-black eyes focused on nothing. His emaciated frame speaks of starvation, but you know that this is the least of his wounds. It is his faith that dealt him a mortal blow.
In his limp left hand is a twisted mass of metal, its surface having melted around his hand like a gauntlet. As you watch, it steams and hisses like a diseased snake. The Gessera does not seem to be aware of it, but it is a weapon that has brought you here. Dakon, Zerth of the Shraklor drowning, last wielder of the Karak blade, know that I have come for you with the words of Zerthamon carved not in chaos, but in stone carved by the will of the in an unbroken circle. At the word Zerthamon, Dakon's eyes roll in their sockets and they attempt to focus upon you. With effort, he cracks his mouth to speak, but only a dry hiss emerges. You bring forth the stone from your pack and hold it before him so he can see it. Know that the words of Zerthamon inscribed upon this stone are true, and that your divided mind need be divided no longer. All you must do is take the stone, and you shall know yourself again. Dakon's eyes flicker over the unbroken circle of Zerthamon, and for a moment you think he might be too close to death to recognize it. Then the right hand twitches, and he pulls it slowly from its earthen prison, the clumps of earth streaming off of it like water in Limbo's chaotic winds. His skeletal hands clutch at the stone like a drowning man, and his eyes flash. Know that I have saved your life, Dakon, Zerth of Shraklator.
Updated my journal.
Or Shraklor. Shraktlor. Let's see. Dakon's eyes turn from the stone and flicker over you, and he hisses again, too dry for a moment to muster the words. He blinks slowly, then speaks, his voice barely above a whisper, but the words are what you wanted to hear. My life is yours until yours is no more. Interesting. Dakon is silent. I heard your words. The chaos in my mind became still. I knew myself again. So this circle that we've been working on is something that he actually got from me in the first place.
Updated my journal.
Yes, in knowing its words, I knew myself. So, but did it, or did it divide you further once you studied the circle? Dakon is silent for a moment, but his blade writhes as if in pain. He is slow to speak again, and when he does, his voice is somber. It divided me. Then did I save your life, Dakon, or did I only add to the pain you already felt? Those words of Zerthamon's, they only seem to divide you more. I see it when you pore over the teachings. I say that I never saved you, Dakon. I only raised you from near death so that you might die again. If you had died at Shraktlor, then you would have known peace. Your words carry the weight of truth. The death I would have died at Shraktlor, that would have been the last death. Every day I've lived is a new death. Okay, so you need serve me no more. I never saved your life. I only killed you twice. No. It is not your word that carries the weight, and your word will not free me. The word that chains me is mine. The torment is mine. I know in my heart that the chains remain. Words will not free them. So is there any way you can be freed? You must die a final death. Yet your path is not death's path. There is no resolution to this matter. Okay, well, I'll find some way to... I mean, he didn't say when I die for good. And particularly important on a planar level, because when you die, you do have sort of an immortal essence typically in this setting. So when you die, you just appear somewhere else in a different plane, and you're in an afterlife, right? There's really no such thing as a final death in this setting. Well, there can be if your soul is in some way destroyed, but that's very uncommon. So, from a strict rules lawyer standpoint, based off of the words that he said, the first time I died but didn't stay dead, I've died. I lived no more, and therefore I could totally... You could totally say, well, contract's done. Okay, I'll find a way to set you free. So, know that you have added other words to my words. Now you have chained us both. Okay, there are other things that I must know. So I gave you... Okay, so... So what was he like?
Updated my journal.
Know that he was different. Know that the differences were not marked on the skin, nor the way or the weapon, nor the attire that cloaked him. Know that he was different in the way of thought and the means he acted on his thoughts. His will became substance. Know that he saw others and did not see them. He knew only how they could serve him. His heart was treacherous and it was cold, and never did its coldness burn him. So did he betray you? Dakon's blade begins bleeding into a dull, flat black, and you watch as edges like teeth begin sprouting from the edge of the blade. It is not my will, you know this. Okay, did he ever betray you? No, there are many treacheries. Any treachery upon me was by my hand, no other. So what was the treachery? I surrendered my word to him. I surrendered myself.
Updated my journal.
The people do not allow themselves to be enslaved to another in deed or chains. If we find ourselves in such a cage, we act to free ourselves, even if it means we must endure another cage for a time. You performed a great service to me. In doing so, you enslaved me. I acted to free myself. Know that I surrendered my word and myself to act in your name until your death. But I can't die. It was not known to me. I surrendered my word to him, surrendered myself. No. So I think that this is just going to... This is just going to repeat. So I think I got all the stuff I can get from that. Okay, so... Dakone, tell me again how awesome I am and how I totally saved your life. Let's see. Okay, let's go.
I feel stronger. I'm gone.
Okay, I'm gonna go ahead and save the game. And it is now... Ooh, we are now going to be leveling up to level 7. We will get the first fighter bonus from specialization. We get a characteristic point that we can spend. And we're going to start spending points into Constitution. Constitution is the only thing we're going to be raising for a while. And we can continue on. So we get a permanent strength raise, which is useful. We get a permanent Constitution raise, which is useful. And that is one of the things that I did confirm. It is very difficult in Infinity Engine games to find like true information on behind the scenes workings. And I don't have the scripting knowledge that I've really... It takes a lot of work for me to dig through the inner workings myself to find the kind of information that I need. I'm willing to do it occasionally. I did, in fact, do it some when I was doing the Legacy of Ball run. But generally speaking, I'm not interested in doing so. But let's see here. So anyway, but I did manage to find someone who had linked the con bonus chart. The one thing that I was curious about is you get Constitution regen with the protagonist. The question is, does that regen scale before rank 20, or is everything below 20 the same? And the answer to that question is it scales. Before 20, it does in fact give you bonuses. So that's all good. So it does scale and gets pretty high. Now, what's interesting is that the numbers for people that aren't the Nameless one are pretty high at 20 Constitution. But Dakone doesn't seem to be regenerating very quickly compared to the Nameless one. So I'm actually curious whether he, despite the numbers on that chart, if he has things accelerated in some other way in addition. But we'll find out. At any rate, Dakone is regenning somewhat, and that's good. Let's see, we can resolve bar tab, find the source of Farron's bodies. And let's see, I'm really upset about the fact that this Ruby thing, the box that I had, I should not have actually gotten dismantled. I thought that was the only resolution to the quest, and I just made a mistake. I should have just kept it. So let's see. I have a were-rat skull. I have a bunch of these were-rat tails. I'm actually going to go turn in these were-rat tails first.
Done.
So we're going to pop down here. And unfortunately, Dakon isn't going too quickly. But I think that pretty much anything that we're going to be running up against is only going to hit Dakon on a 20 now. So that's good. Where was I going? There's someone down here I wanted to talk to. Ah, yeah. We need to go into this building. We got Mirim.
All right.
Turn rat tail. Do I seriously have to go through this whole thing? 1 4 1 1 4 1 1 4 1 1 4 1 1 4 1 1 4 1 1 4 1 1 4 Okay, that is going to have to suffice because there's no way on earth that I'm going to do this for all 23 of them.
All right.
Okay, so let's see. I'm going to talk to him again. Please don't kill me. Thank the powers, it's only you. What's up? Cranium rats, it seems they're determined to rid Sigil of my presence. I prefer more duties at the Office of Vermin and Disease Control too diligently. What? Earlier today, I found a large specimen of rat here at my very office. I captured the creature and took it downstairs in the basement to deal with it. Before my very eyes, it grew into a huge man-sized creature and said it was sent to kill me for my crimes against the cranium rats. So what to do? I ran for my life. Praise the powers, I made it back up here to my shop. I locked the door behind me. I'm certain the creature is trapped down there. Slay it for me. I'll make it worth your trouble. Okay, what do you give me? I'll pay you 200 copper commons to rid my basement of the vile beast. Sounds like a plan.
All right. Drop it.
Oh, I dropped something. Okay, so Phineas's key. Axe of Torment. So we're just going to give her a bunch of random stuff. And it looks like I got rid of most of my cranium rat tails here, which is good. I'm going to keep this in his... Oh, I didn't use the tier. So let's go ahead and use this tier. This gives me a permanent +1 to Constitution. So I now have 12 con. Right? Yeah. And we're well on our way to true immortality yet again.
Balance in all things.
Done.
So the goal for this character... Well, that was quick. Is probably a form of true immortality. Right? This container's locked. I'm going to go ahead and... I'm going to save the game.
Right. Got it.
And I'm going to check for traps. Okay, I don't detect any traps. I'm going to go ahead and have him pop in here. Charm of Infinite Recall, some junk, and a bunch of random stuff. Okay, so...
All right.
Creature is dead, and I come for my reward. This is excellent news indeed. What is the reward I promised you? 200 copper. Thank you for your services. I'm in your debt.
Updated my journal.
Ah, well, sir. I wonder if they had originally intended for there to be a thing there, like a lie that you could make about, oh, you promised that you'd give me 300 copper, or something along those lines. So Braskin's Kip. What am I looking for? I'm looking for Mar.
All right.
Braskin is one of the guys that I talked to about this, but he's not the one that...
I'm gone.
Yeah, I'm definitely kicking myself because there's an item that you can get in other places, but it's like a RNG thing, so I'm probably never gonna get it. Um, that you would get from completing that in the other direct way. All right, so
Your path is mine.
we have our friend Mar to talk to. So I got rid of the box. It does me heart good to hear you say that. Before you kills me for the horrible deed of tricking you in the box, please let me explain. Okay, explain yourself. The long and short of it is that the box has been around as long as anyone can remember. Chant is some folks were fighting, and when they was done, a huge demon was imprisoned inside the box. Others say an evil wizard made it just for seeing others suffer. No one rightly knows what the truth behind the box be, but the owner of the box will die should it be opened. So why doesn't the owner just put the box where no one could find it? It seems it should have been as simple as that, but who among us would live with the death sentence lingering overhead? To drive any sane man over the edge, having to worry about the whereabouts of the damnable box at all times. Why me? First, I haven't seen you around here before. You see, I need a clueless burker such as yourself to accept the box to become a new owner. Everyone around here knows not to take the box, not for any price. Secondly, if you didn't examine the box when you had it, you would have noticed that whatever magics were placed on it were weakening. With me being the current owner and all, you can see as I needed to pass it on right quick. Besides, if anybody looked ready to pass on to the next realm, it was you. Obviously, I picked a cutter of no small means. Surely this has been but a minor inconvenience to one such as ye. I offer this weapon and some jink to line your purse as reward for your trouble. 'Tis all I own, and coincidentally, 'twas what that rat Quattro used to get me to take possession of the box. Alright, well.
Dated my journal.
This is an hollow axe. Okay, so this is an axe that just is like an axe of swiftness kind of thing. And we're now level 7. We're going to, I think, continue leveling as fighter for now, because the fighter portion of the game is going to be where we are at our weakest. We're going to have a difficult time as a fighter because of the fact that our AC is going to be trash the entire time we're a fighter. Once we can go back to being a mage... Interesting. Use deadly fumes from the plains of the abyss. Once we can go back to the other thing, something will happen. Okay. So, let's see here. Do we need any of these spells? Thrice Blind Charm. These are all things that I sold her. And let's go ahead and sell this. Axe of Torment, 400, not bad. So this Abyssal Pipe is worth a ton. Let me go ahead and sell that. Sell these. I'm gonna go ahead and sell the sadistic thing. So it looks like she's now going to buy this crap at a substantial penalty, so I'm not going to go ahead and do that. What I will do is look at this other stuff. Anything that I want to sell to her? I do not believe so. I think that we're set for stuff to sell to her. We're at 3,300 coppers right now. And we're just going to pop back over here. Now, we're going to have to Dacone tank. But since he's not regenerating as fast as I'd like him to, we're not going to have him tank a lot of enemies at once. So we're going to try to make sure that we keep the fight. Okay, looks like we do have to use another junk. And am I actually consuming this junk, or is it just... It's hard to tell. I have 13, so...
All right.
Oh.
And your path is mine.
We made friends. Okay, so... I have... Okay. We should pull him back a bit.
I shall serve.
Oh shit. So let's get this guy down. With him crits. Whoa, that guy has a lot of HP.
So, sure, why not?
Okay, that guy's down. So that means that we have an opening to get him away.
Yeah.
Okay.
I'm gone.
That I shall serve.
Damn.
So all of them just turned around. Oh shit, are you stuck?
All right.
Okay, so he's not stuck anymore.
Done.
What's
And it's okay for the nameless one to take a little bit of damage. It's no big deal. We're just gonna go ahead and kite here. And this is actually how I should be handling this, is having one guy kite them around while the regen people
Okay.
pick out one or two at a time to beat the shit out of.
Damn.
There we go. And we've taken a little bit of damage on the nameless one, and that's all fine. So,
Done.
let's go ahead and check. Where is our thing? Quickly, there we go. So we can get the Rat Charm, the Commons, Bronze Ring, Clot Charm, and take everything except the weapons. Okay, so there we go. So those guys are toasted, and now we can just bring these folks back down here. Now, I don't believe that was... Yeah, that was not this group. So we're going to go ahead and save this. And we're going to pull him over here, try and grab this guy.
I hear your words.
And he will not approach, I don't think.
What? Sure, why not?
It's possible that he just got out of line of sight. Okay, I think he just got out of line of sight. So as soon as he gets out of line of sight, he then charges backward.
What's up? Good as done.
Yes.
Whoa! He just did 60 damage! Holy shit. That's a lot of damage. Okay, let's load this. That's how much max HP the Nameless One has right now.
Enduring grow strong.
Okay.
I hear your words.
What's good as done.
All right.
Oh shit, is he on the Morty now?
Yeah. Sure, why not?
That was a quick swap. And he's toast. So he has a magic battle axe, which we have obtained.
All right.
And I'm just gonna have the Nameless One
I'm gone.
chill on the front lines for
Good
now,
as done.
Done.
because he's got regen. And oh, so it looks like all of that guy's friends did in fact come out there. That was the pack, and then he himself was just alone now.
In all things.
So this must be the top of a bell tower. That's interesting. I never realized that before. Okay, so we took out the guys outside. And I'm gonna come in here and talk to this guy. I'm kind of curious what's going on with this Ojo guy. Hey there, big hitter. How's your friend in the wall? So let's see. Tell me about the people of this village. Who? Farod. Actually, I have some other questions. Tell me about the catacombs. No talk strangers. Who are you? Okay, Ojo. So, Ojo talk. Who are you talking to? Uh-huh.
I'm gone.
Interesting. Let's... So he's got some sort of hand injury. And he's talking to something in the wall that's riddled with holes. So I think that we have an idea of what he's talking to. And in case others haven't necessarily puzzled it out yet, because it's easy when you've, done a game like this before to underestimate how difficult it is to actually figure some of this stuff out on your own. So I'm going to not, go into too many details, but we're going to finish exploring this place. And if we don't find any more information about this guy, we'll have to just find it out from him. But we might be able to find some more information in here somewhere. And let's see here. Because when I ask him about people in the village, he does not care. He's fine. But when I talk to him about the catacombs, he immediately clams up. So, I think I've explored most of these places. We can go back to the Dead Nations and see if there's any more information there later. But first, we're going to go into this place over here. And we've already been here the one time. Let's see. So, blah, blah, blah. So a biped comes willing into the halls of many as one. What do you want? Where do you intend to go? Etc., etc. And I'm going to go with... I was exploring. Nope. I haven't come to scavenge, really. Then your answer forces Mantuak to inquire. Why are you here? Success into mistakes. Who is many as one? You're truly ignorant, yes? Clear as you've come to, you shall not leave. What are you doing? Now, I'm wondering if you have high enough constitution, if that doesn't work. That would be kind of cool. Alright, so we can go ahead and just save the game. Pop over here. And we've got a lot of stuff here. Ooh, a magic mace. Wow, there's a lot of nice stuff in here. Alright, so there's a door. This bored-looking were-rat seems glad of any excuse to alleviate his tedium. What do you want, meat? I'd like to get out. You would, eh? What makes you think it's worth our time to disobey Mantuak and risk the lives of the wrath of the rats, huh? I suggest, without threatening you, that it's in your best interest to let me go. That sounds like a good way to do it. I never much cared for Mantuak's bossery anyway. He unlocks the door, opens it, and steps aside. Now get out of here, and I'll pretend I don't see you. Okay, so that guy just opened the door for us, which is great. We gained some experience. Gained quite a bit of experience. We probably gained more experience from doing that than we're going to get for killing everything in here. And let's see here. Battle axe. And okay, so nothing else of interest. We're gonna go ahead and have her stealth. So she's now like a shadow. Should save the game now that she is in fact in... Oh good, she successfully hid, which... Backstab, triple damage, woo! Okay, she's no longer in line of sight. We can go ahead and try and stealth again, and we fail. So she actually successfully stealthed here. So let's see if I can just keep... Oh, wow, they de-aggroed. So this guy did not want to follow the person who backstabbed him the first time, thinking it was probably a bad idea. But it turns out that... Ooh, there's a cranium rat here. I'm gonna go after this thing first and miss, because I'm talented like that. Oh, Jesus, I should have gone after the cranium rat. I definitely should have gone after the cranium rat. Oh, man. I was thinking, you know, maybe I should go after the cranium rat, because it's probably a spellcaster. And then I'm like, nah, there's only the one. It's not a spellcaster, no way. And then... Okay, so the cranium rat's down. Okay, so she failed her hide in shadows. I'm just gonna keep doing this for now. Oh shit, another cranium rat.
Aye, why not?
In enduring, grow strong.
Nope!
What I get for getting
God damn it. I was thinking, okay, so this will be fine. I'll just fucking backstab it. And then the next one I'm like, okay, well, I'll kill it before anything bad happens to me.
Right.
No. So I need to get back into stealth. This is not good. The goal for me right now... There we go. The goal for me is to kill as many of the actual, like, cranium rats as I can. The were-rats are not as important, because I can just fight them normally. But the cranium rats have such high damage output. Oh god. That is a lot of cranium rats. That is a lot of them. So there's typically, I think, one in each group that's actually, like, super dangerous. Where did you come from? Damn it! I got it killed, but it didn't... I didn't finish it before the... Oops. Is this the right one? Let's see. Oh, that's interesting. He just healed for 39 when I reloaded. That's the same exact bug that I keep... What? Oh shit, where'd you come from? Oh, this is before I killed it? Do these things respawn or something?
I'm gone.
Okay, so Raise Dead, Stories Bones Tell. Okay, that was a lot of damage.
Right.
So just pop her into the shadows and then immediately come out and try and backstab this guy. Stealthinating the countryside. Backstab! Okay, we're gonna save this. We're gonna pop her forward. And there's one rat that's just wandering around here. Shit! Okay, that sucks.
To the mortuary.
That sucks. So, for whatever reason, she just couldn't actually get close enough to hit him. So... Okay, so...
All right.
Why not?
So that one just popped over.
Light the shadows.
I'm gone.
I'm not sure if this is like a wandering critter or what it is.
Damn it!
Just what I needed, a critical miss. Oh god, she rolls a 1. Alright, is that the right Okay. The way that the quick saves are being handled is really weird in this one.
Right.
Alright, so where are they coming from? Are they actually wandering out from these groups, or are they just spawning and I'm just killing? Okay, we can save this. There's a rat here. Damn it. Oh Jesus, she's so dead. That is so many rats! Oh my god. So many rats. Okay, so she's back into stealth. I'm gonna stand directly in front of this guy and try and stab him. There we go. Oh, you can backstab from the front. All that has you just have to be in stealth. This changes everything. This changes everything. Oh my god, that's so nice. So I'm gonna turn quick loot off. And I don't know how I'm gonna kill all of these. Let's save this. So those two over there, I think, are spellcasters of some sort. Shit. Okay, so we're gonna have everybody go over here.
Right.
The way that they are behaving is a little strange. So I'm making the assumption that the ones that are behaving differently than the others are probably the spellcasters. So I'm thinking that maybe they're separating from the group because of it. That's what I'm hoping. The alternative is much worse. The alternative is that they're spawns. It's not shadows. Look for shadows. Perfect. Because the Infinity Engine does actually have the ability to track the relative lighting of a given area. I made a mistake. I went to the wrong spot. So you actually get a bonus to your hide and shadows for being in a darker spot. So we're going to go ahead and backstab that one. We're going to open this door. I'm concerned about the fact that those two were right there together. So I'm going to try to hide over here and fail. Let's keep away from that one. That's a lone rat. Okay, so she's now stealthed again. You can pop over here. And this is another lone rat. Okay, these guys are all behaving kind of strange. Grab you. Miss. Save the game. So, that guy was approaching. I'm gonna stab this guy. This looks like shadows. Saved. Okay, so if we could just kill our way through here with Anna, this will actually make things way easier. Oh, Dacone is actually at full HP, so considering that we do have regen, let's go ahead and clear some of these enemies out with Dacone. The melees shouldn't be any trouble. The spellcasters are the ones that are going to be causing problems for me. And the spellcasters do appear to be very specific rats. It's not that, you know, every rat gets the ability when they're within close proximity. It's that specific rats have that ability, regardless of how many rats are close to them. So we didn't actually take any damage there. We're definitely going to take damage here if one of these guys is a spellcaster. So we're going to just pull this were-rat first. This pair of were-rats. Assuming we can. Okay, those guys are not approaching. I'm going to clear out this whole dungeon before I start looting the place. And he's at full HP. So I'm going to go ahead and just pop this guy. Okay, that guy just nailed me. What did he nail me on? Okay, so that was a natural 20 that hit Zara, or that hit, what's his name? Dacon. Okay, so we cleared this group out, and since he's now injured, I can go ahead and just pop him back and have Anna go back to work. So there's this rat on its own over here. I want to deal with that one because since it is on its own, I suspect that it's behaving differently than the others and is thus one that we need to murder. And here it is. Okay, so it turns out it's just a normal rat. No problem. Okay. So let's stealth up. There was one in this room patrolling around. This is almost definitely... Shit. This is almost definitely one of the spellcasters. And we got it. We got it before the stealth wore off. So we can stand here. I think this is a shadow. So this door just leads back to here, and we've got a pretty decent amount of progress so far. That leads to a new area. Apparently opening doors cancels hide in shadows. Okay, so pop her back, and we can pop into this. So how far have we've explored a decent chunk of this place now. We can save the game. Backstab! Okay, and in that pack over there, one of them is a spellcaster, so we're gonna have to go deal with that first. Well, not first. We're gonna have to go deal with that with someone else. That area we just can't really do with Anna because, I mean, I could conceivably try to figure out the specific one that's gonna cause problems. Oh my god! 48 damage. Hello. So apparently in this game, backstab damage is multiplied because 48 damage is a lot of freaking damage. That was a critical hit. Alright, so generally speaking, backstab damage is not multiplied on a crit, so it will usually increase the amount of damage that you do from the baseline attack, but then the actual backstab component is already kind of considered to be a critical hit, so you don't actually get double damage on that, but, you know, I'm not complaining. Okay, so that one's dead. There was actually two right there. We're just going to keep stealthing up and this is why invisibility is OP as hell. As long as you don't get one shot. So having the Nameless One be a rogue, you can imagine with regen and lots of HP and being able to just spam points into hide in shadows, you could actually cleave through large sections of the game probably very, very quickly and very safely. When something casts a spell at you, oh well, no big deal, you just murder them anyway. Wow. sucking at this. Okay. But yeah. It would be an interesting way of playing, to be sure. I don't think I'm going to do this a lot, but I'm certainly doing it for right now while my party's reasonably weak. Backstab! So I think these have about 25 HP would be my guess. I'm getting back to this specific point because it's a shadow, so it increases the chance of me successfully hiding. I can actually do it here now. Nope. Lame. Lame. Atron. Hide! Oh god. There you go. Oh, and we just insta-gibbed it with 25 damage, so 25 is the maximum HP they could possibly have. Go ahead and just detect traps around here, see if there's anything. I don't think there will be. Let's take a look here. And we've successfully stealthed. We're going to save the game. Pop in here. Oh, we got a nice little cranium rat here. This is probably a spellcaster. Probably was a spellcaster. That guy hasn't even aggroed. Enemies are really slow to aggro in Planescape Torment. So we've got another one of the patrols. Oh shit. I don't like that.
I don't trust the Gith. I say we leave him behind.
Da-da-da-da-da-da. There we go. Save the game. Oh, okay. Ba-ba-da-ba-da. And that's backstab. Successful backstab. Okay, I'm gonna go ahead and just backstab this thing since, damn it. Okay. And Tacone is really regenerating pretty slow. But we're pretty much done here. We just need to finish off the rest of the critters around here. Oh.
This is what I get for getting into a scrape.
Yep, that is 100% my thoughts. Is it only takes 2 hits. How about I just wait for her to attack again? And then instantaneously smacked for half her remaining life. Done. Alright, so how much more do we need to murder? Backstab! Like a shadow I am. Backstab! Backstab! So, let's see here. I'm gonna go ahead and start looting the place while I wait on failed attempts. Nice! Got a nice critical backstab there. Save the game. Up in here. And that one's dead. Like a shadow I am. Backstab! Okay. So, we've cleared out this section. I believe we cleared out everything pretty much, except for this room here. So that's good. We need to finish this room off. But this room is going to be harder because it's going to involve dealing with the spellcasters. And I stand corrected. There is, in fact, this room over here. We're going to go ahead and open the door first. We're going to save the game. We're going to go ahead and stealth. We're never going to mind. We're going to fail to stealth. There is a cranium rat in here alone. If I had to guess, it's probably a spellcaster. And so we can deal with that one just by poking him in the face. There we go. So we got another cranium rat tail. I didn't actually pick it up yet, but we'll have it eventually. We got some more junk. All hail the junk lord. Okay, so we can go ahead and equip this crap. Chained teeth earrings. And let's see. These don't stack, so we're just gonna throw them in her thing. I think I'm gonna get too many of those. And go ahead and equip the gold ring. That allows us to take the needle and thread. And since I am in here already, I'm going to go ahead and just take this tail. So, I think we've cleared the majority of this area now. I'm going to go ahead and loot the joint. And I'm going to turn the quick loot thing on. I'm going to take this and take this. We're not going to loot the heads, because the heads are probably not worth very much. Unfortunately, I think we're going to run into some inventory space problems. But that said, it doesn't really matter. We don't need to take all of this old jewelry and shit. So it's not a big deal if we can't take it all. We can... Ooh. Okay, I need to drop something because I don't want to lose out on a Clot Charm. So now, when we pick up Clot Charms, they'll automatically go into her thing. We've got a small bottle here. Cha-ching. And anything useful? And it's good to just make sure that all your stackable stuff is in the inventory of whoever's looting, so that you just add them to the stack. And we got a cranium rat tail, add that to the stack. And there we go. So we've cleared out everything in terms of loot, except this room and that room over there. I love how these two just don't even aggro. They're like, I don't give a shit. Scroll of Ball Lightning. That's cool.
All right.
So that's the spell that these assholes have been casting at me this whole time. And I'm going to go ahead and save the game. How? The range on this scales. That's really interesting. Alright, well, I will actually be right back just a moment, and then we'll continue on and finish this And I return triumphant.
All right.
So, we now need to loot. He doesn't have them.
Right.
I thought he also had a stack of cranium rat tails, but it turns out he did not. Okay. Okay, so we now need to figure out how we're going to approach these things. I think I'm going to send him out to try and eat the
Ready.
blast. But first we're going to have her go in and try to... I'm concerned, but we're going to try it. That's a fail. Okay.
I'm gone.
I am in fact going to just send him out and see if one of these guys... That guy is going to cast a spell on me, definitely. I can see which one is going to cast it,
I'm here.
I think. It's the only one that was actually looking at me. The others were all just sitting there quietly. And I'm going to try to kill this rat. Can I reach it? No, I can't reach it. So since I can't reach it,
I hear your words.
I'm going to have him cast Rain of Anger on that one.
There cannot
Okay.
I will hear you.
Aye, what?
I'm going to have him pull back.
You want to
These
know?
things really do not aggro from very far.
Why not? Like a shadow I am.
So this guy's wandering around. This guy's in the corner by himself. I'm going to go ahead and blast this guy.
Backstab.
There we go. So let's see if any of these attack. Nope, they're all turning toward her though, so I must have
Done.
I misjudged what the turning meant.
Balance.
I was thinking that
Things.
the other ones that are melees
Your path is mine.
would just they would start charging me if they were gonna aggro,
Right.
but that's clearly not the case. Alright, so
Your path is mine.
he has the most HB, but he also would want to be tanking the melee swings. Okay, so let's pop back.
And your will be done.
All right.
Okay,
Done. I'm
so we're just gonna save. We're just gonna save. Send him out again. Okay, so we've cleared that little pack. This bigger pack over on the left definitely has at least one guy who can cast spells at us. So we want to figure out where that guy is. Oh, look at that. He's in the dead center. Of course he is. And there we go. I think we killed the only one that's casting spells, so let's just have Dacone go out there and start killing him. Yeah. So the ball lightnings are dealt with. Okay. How are you missing Cranium Rats so much, Dacone?
all right.
Know that your accuracy leaves much to be desired.
Right.
Okay. That is a lot of rat tails. Alright, so we got all the rat tails, and we've looted...
All right.
We didn't get all the rat tails, there's one over here. Looted the majority of this place. Let's grab this rat tail. Save the game. Send him over. Possibly explode. Do not explode. Now we can pop to the front door, and this is the place that we started. So that's good. Where does this go? It goes to a pair of trio of were-rats.
I'm gone.
Balance.
Okay, so he's just gonna keep cleaving through them.
Conscious folly. The clock seems true.
And there we go. So we killed them. We can take their money. And do we have anything else in this room? I think we do. No. This room's an empty room. So nothing terribly interesting in here. We've killed almost this entire warren. This door is locked, which is interesting. We're going to use thieving skills on this.
All right.
So this doesn't have a conventional lock and might be warded against simple spells. That sounds familiar. And we're ready to continue on into the next area. So we can go ahead and save with a hard save. And continue on. So progress is being made. And let's see how things go in here. A voice that sounds like the anguished pain of 1,000 echoes through your skull. The voice sounds curiously subdued with an undercurrent of incredible anger. Murderer, we ask that you leave our halls. We do not wish more battle with you. If you will perform a favor for us, we can perform a service for you, and we can go our ways in peace. So, who are you? We have already met in the dark halls. You have seen our face. You have shed our blood. Speak your purpose here, murderer. If you have come to kill us all, then you cannot succeed. We have no wish to fight, but if you insist, fight we will. I don't ken what sort of game the brain vermin are playing with yet, but if they're offering peace, you'd be best accepting it. They're smarter in groups they do, and even though you've heard them, a band of guys can still send you to the dead book. Excuse me. I don't know what they're up to, Chief, but watch your thoughts. They're group-minded, each rat adds more to the mind, and they fight like, pardon the expression, cornered rats. We're in their home now, boss, and they've got nowhere to go. Don't mess this up. We ask that your companions remain silent. You have brought pain to us, much pain, and we demand amends from you. So what do you want me to do? You will journey to the halls of the dead. You will strike down their silent ruler. You will return here when you've completed your mission. So why don't you do it? The dead, entrenched are they. Difficult to harm. Their silent king, a mystery he is. We do not like such mysteries. We strike when we can succeed without doubt. The silent king makes us doubt. So, the reason that these rats are not attacking me is because they're afraid of me. They just outright said it. They didn't actually outright say it. But earlier they say they don't want to fight. They've commented on how we've caused them pain, right? And they are afraid of me, and that's why they don't want to fight. If they could kill me, they would be attacking me right now. So I will not accept this. Then biped, you will die. Okay, you can try that. You can go ahead and try. So I am taking damage, which is no fun.
I hear your word.
So many as one.
All right.
Is, I think, invulnerable to harm. That's a lot of misses.
Conscious folly.
He hasn't summoned anything.
The Karak sings true.
So what did that do? Critical hit. Nothing happens. Okay, that's interesting. Is there a way to actually fight him?
Conscious folly. The Karak sings true.
I was under the impression that
Folly.
the way that this fight worked was that he would summon other rats. And that if you killed enough of them, he would flee.
And it doesn't appear that that's the case. So I'm just gonna leave, because this is not...
All right.
Okay, so I'm gonna save this, and I'm gonna go back in here. And...
Yeah, sure, why not?
there we go. So now they're triggering properly.
I will hear you.
All right.
So he just ran,
Okay.
and a bunch of the rats are now spawning.
All right.
Okay, we can pull her out.
Balance in all things.
Why not?
Die.
What's up, Chief?
I'm hurt.
So I'm actually curious if there is a limited number of these things or not.
All right.
It is I.
What's the word, Chief?
Endure. In enduring, grow strong.
I'm gone.
I hear your words.
So they're just getting immediately replaced. I'm wondering if they actually do run out or not.
What's up?
Because it's entirely possible that they will never run out.
Did you see that?
We yield to you, biped, we yield to you, we will trouble you no more. Well,
I will hear you.
there we go. So we killed enough of these things to substantially weaken them. That is a lot of rat tails.
Done.
And so we're done. We done here.
Done.
So we've cleared out the rat warrens. We didn't do it in exactly like the, you know, certainly not the optimal EXP route or anything of that nature. Hello. These two are still friendly, but they're in a different room now. Oh, these guys are like respawned or something. So I can't open this door still. I'm gonna see
Done.
how many rat tails did I just get. 76 cranium rat tails. That is how many cranium rats I just took out. Pretty crazy. And so we can now pop out. We are done here, and we can take a look at our journal and see what we're going to do next. So next on our list, we have the resolving the bar tab, which I don't know if there's a good solution for that. We know where Ferret's corpses are coming from. And let's see.
Done.
Door's locked.
I'm here.
They are presumably not going to want to open the door for me. So I will go ahead and open the door myself.
It is your will be done.
And they attack me again for some reason.
The rock sings true.
And there we go.
Done.
Da, 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 da. I find it very funny that there's like no way to get in and out except by just murdering the guards. And then the guards just get replaced. And it's like, how many times do I have to kill the guards before people stop like willingly throwing themselves at me? Let's see. So, tell me about the catacombs. Buried village. Tell me about the people of the village. How do you know he's dead? Man on the wall, tell me. Tell me about the man on the wall. So, there's some man in the wall. And I'm not sure if I'll be able to resolve this or not. It's not actually a quest. So it's my suspicion that he's talking to one of the rats. I think that he's talking to many as one, but I don't know how to get any resolution in that direction. Okay, so we've got a bone dagger. It's a +1 dagger. And this is the streaming blade. Alright, well, I guess we're ready to pop on out of here. So, I think by dealing with that massive quantity of rats that we just took down, that should substantially weaken that hive mind creature. And that hive mind creature definitely seems like the kind of thing where if it gets strong enough, it's gonna start going on a rampage, and that the only thing that keeps it like under control is the fact that it's not going to attack anyone that it considers to be stronger than it, right? So that's my thinking with that whole shebang. So we can go ahead and do what? There's a guy in Ragpicker Square. He wants me to do this. I think it was, what's his name? Was it not? I don't think so. Okay. I think it was this guy up here, so we're gonna go talk to him.
I'm gone.
Talk to Sharegrave. Sup? What? How have I not found what he's up to?
Done.
In what way do I not know what? How do I not know? That doesn't make any sense. Obviously I know. The Dead Nations people have told me repeatedly. I think... I mean, it's obvious that he's taking them from the crypts, right? Like, how is this... How is this not resolved already? He's got an entire village next to a crypt. I'm confused.
Done.
Though, I know where he's going to be collecting all of his new bodies from, and that's not from the crypt, that's from the corpses of all the men that I just killed. Got a production line going down here. So... how do I not know?
I'm gone. I'm gone. I'm gone.
I feel like with 23 wisdom and 16 intelligence, this character probably should have figured out what's going on at this point. So where did they come from? Okay, I'm gonna make this vow, and then I'm gonna keep it.
Journal.
So I'm not. I'm. This is all like information that we actually already know.
Updated my journal.
Oh my god. That is awesome. So, not all the dead that goes to the mortuary gate is fed to the furnace corpse. The Dusties bury some of the dead in the city's bowels, under the village, so near, so close. In such a place, I would have been a fool not to see the opportunities. Interesting. These catacombs are as deep as the Dusty's pockets, and as deep as the greed of man. Oh yes, and the greed of man is something that shall always be counted upon when naught else is left. Yes. Let's see. Okay, so we've gained the information on where he's getting his corpses from, and
All right.
I don't think I'm going to tell anybody. Actually, he's getting his corpses from the the bowels of the catacombs, and if he's taking bodies that
I'm gone.
the dustmen are burying and then just like recycling them to the dustmen, I think that Komanatin would be more amused than anything by that. Um, Aldrea would probably be disgusted. She'd be like, "Oh my god, those dustmen are such incompetent." Blah 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 blah, and she'd go on a whole tirade about how the dustmen are useless and pieces of crap. She wouldn't tell anyone either because it's like she would think that anyone who didn't notice that the bodies were being resold to them after would like clearly be too incompetent. Komanatin probably just wouldn't see the actual like problem here. So he's found this information. He's told the guy that he's not going to do it, that he's not going to tell anyone else. And considering that there's nobody getting harmed in this, right? There's no victim unless you consider a non-living corpse, right? Because he's not taking the undead. He's not attacking the undead. He's not doing anything that is really, impacting anyone that's alive or in a state of unlife, for that matter. So yeah, I don't think that Komanatin would give a crap. So that's the angle that we're going with here. We're not going to... Ooh, Batezu Mace. 3 to 9 crushing damage. Alright, so we can save the game, and let's take a look. What other quests do we have? We don't need to find out anything about the corpses anymore. We don't really need the spell ruby for Jerem, because screw that guy. Find the site where Anna found my corpse, resolve a bar tab, and the Curse of Stench is going to require that we have access to 4th level spells. So let's take a look at our spell book. How high? It's not going to take that long before we can cast it. So that's good. And Flophouse is done. I think we're pretty much set. So we're going to go to that tavern.
All right.
And I don't think that we need to rest, because when we rest, it's not going to heal these too much anyway. So those two are pretty much just going to have to deal with the fact that they're going to be injured forever. So then we can come downstairs, hop over here, and I'm not sure what I'm going to do with these rat tails. I might be able to sell them to somebody. I'm going to talk to this Githzerai. I'm going to go with this one because it's... So, the Githzerai ignores you and turns to Dakon instead. He speaks several clipped words in a strange, low tongue. If you understand the inflections correctly, he just said, "All beholden Zerth." Dakon replies in the same tongue. The sentence structure is odd. You think Dakon said, "This one is numbered among the faithful. What's he saying? The Githzerai turns to you as you speak, then turns back to Dakon and speaks again, this time at great length. I'm going to try and translate. You have difficulty deciphering the sentence structure, but you think he said, there is one by Dakon's name who is not of the people. It is said that his mind is divided. It is said that he is a Zerth that does not know the words of Zerthamon. So, wait. Dakon makes the same reply as before. The tone has changed slightly, but the meaning seems to be intact. This one is numbered among the faithful. Dakon falls silent as if to give the words time to sink in. The one beside me speaks, will you hear him? The guest's response is so quick, it almost has the force of an attack behind it. You're not certain if you got the entire meaning, but it seems the Gith just issued some sort of challenge to Dakon in the form of a question. Zerth, do you obey the words of this human? Interesting. I'm going to go ahead and wait. All of those interruptions are bad, because they've already mentioned that the Githzerai do not like to serve. So I'm going to go ahead and wait. Dakon's reply is a short one, but his speech is slowed as if he has come to drag the words from his throat. T'Chaz's choice has become mine. This matter carries the stink of the illithid about it. I see no chains upon you, you speak your mind. How did this blasphemy come to be? So, the chains are my own. Anarch of 100 years, there is no hourglass that can measure the tale. The matter is as twisted as Freehe's roots. Its resolution is one impossibility that may never come. The one beside me speaks. Will you hear him? So, he may speak, I will hear him. He doesn't even look at me, though. You could ask him if... Your words are known to me, the Githzerai interrupts. Face me and speak your mind, I will hear you. Try and recall the translation. Acolyte drowning. Essentially, a question whose answer would serve no purpose. This is usually a request to the speaker to make a vague or useless question more specific. Holy shit, that's a lot of, subtext there. So, the Githzerai make their home on the outer planes of Limbo, a plane of chaos. This ability can only be achieved by shaping the chaotic matter of the plane with the mind. Focus and discipline are necessary for this to occur. Alai is a foolish Githzerai of myth who was lost in Limbo, and she was barely able to form an island around herself. While adrift in the chaos matter, she met a planeswalker who offered help. Akalai asked so many useless and unfocused questions on how to return home, however, that the Isle of Matter slowly dissolved around her and she drowned in Limbo. Okay, so tell me about the Lady of Pain. It is said she's the queen of the city. Her mind is not known to me. So, what can you tell me about Dakon? He walks with you. How is he not known to you? I'm just saying what you know. He is not speechless. If you would know him, put the questions to him. Do not insult us both by treating one as a statue. I love that. That's great. That's a great response. So where's the city located? Such as all places, city of doors, blah, blah, blah. Ooh, a cage. Any structure with locked doors is a cage. Interesting. This gives you insight into the Githzerai character, right? Any structure with a locked door is a cage, which is that's a very interesting way of thinking of it. They clearly do not like to be bound, which is also interesting because they seem to be very lawful, right? They are from the plane of chaos, and it's through very rigidly controlled minds that they shape matter around them. And so this is they have an interesting culture. Every door in this cage is locked. Every door has its own key. Only those. Then may you leave. So where are the doors? Okay, I have some other specific. I don't need to learn more about. I already know about the fact that this is the city of portals and all that jazz. So, what kind of work? There's little work here. They hunt rats for bounties. You can gather the dead. Rats. Okay, other specific questions. You are not known to me. What is interesting to you may not be interest to me. Okay, sorry to trouble you. So, That's interesting. We learned a little bit of information. I don't think we got any experience out of that conversation, but we got a little bit of info. We're now level 7. We now have 1.5 attacks per round. Is that the number of attacks we're supposed to have? We have 1.5 attacks per round because we're not proficient with that weapon. So, boom, we now have 2 attacks per round with a dagger. Always a good thing. And what else are we going to do? Phineas's Key. Tattoo of the Lost Incarnation. Come see the Burning Man! Okay, so is this the place we're supposed to go? This might be the place we're supposed to go. So, Tenement of Thugs. So, you sure this is the door? It's been spirited with the barmy paints of the starved dogs it has. It's a real door until you look at it and it turns into a painting. How they do that. There's stranger things in the plains. You might as well ask yourself how you got in the dead book after I was sure you were dead. So this book. This door. Hold on, this is the only path I know to reach the place I found your corpse, but it's not the safest road, eh? You sure you're ready? I'm not here to play your mind, or no matter what Stutter Crutch says. So... It's behind the store that's so dangerous. Barmy as they come, barking wild into the night, ready to paint you with colors or crack your brain box with chamber pot. Dangerous bloods, they are. So how'd you make it through? I crept in nice and quiet, like, can't paint you or kill you if they can't see you. Doubt I can pull that twice without ye around. With ye around, you look right clumsy, you do. Alright, well, let me open the door. You close your eyes and reach for the door and fumble around. To your surprise, you find the handle. With a slight tug, the door opens. That is such a cool... I love the, like, planes. The outer planes are so interesting. Uh-oh. Well. Hi, friend. I actually wanted to do something first. I forgot about this. I want to go back into the mortuary. Because I now have Speak with the Dead. So I should be able to start talking to the zombies that are lying around. They're not lying around. They're walking around. So I should have access to some new content in there. So let's go back to the mortuary for now. Okay. Here, just pay my respects to Dayanara.
I'm gone.
Okay, this guy is charging us, and this is the same guy that we couldn't tell we were here to see Dayanara before. So, we are going to go... Oh, there's one set of stairs, the other stairs are over here. So we're just going to go to this staircase. It's unguarded. I don't think there's any zombies around here that we want to talk to. Oh, maybe there are. Let's see. So let's use the Stories Bones Tell. So this is something that we're going to be able to do with all of the zombies around here.
Done.
Presumably. Stories Bones Tell. Okay, no reply from this one either. Okay, well, this has been incredibly exciting. Okay. Ooh. Corpse shudders for a moment, then stills, the spirit flowing into its abandoned mortal shell once again. Within seconds, a semblance of life seems to spring into the zombie's eyes, and it begins to gaze with a look of curious puzzlement on its face. The entire body now seems surrounded by a soft golden aura. The spirit suddenly seems to take notice of you. He flashes a disarmingly friendly grin, popping all the stitches around his mouth loose with a sudden movement. Momentarily surprised, he touches his hand to his lips, shrugs, and nods in informal greeting. Where am I? Such an odd place. Do I know you? You're in the mortuary. Yes, that would make sense, wouldn't it? Now, do I know you? No, I had some questions for you. So, perhaps you're right. What is it you wish to ask me? So who are you? My name's Ashzonje. Might I know you? Yours? I do not know. How odd. A shame, truly. I must have something to call you, no? I'm not going to make up a name because apparently anything involving a Dawn is a chaotic action. So where are you going? Where are you from? I am from many places. In truth, my birthplace is unknown to me. I did a good deal of traveling in my life and called many places home. Now, all Arborea is mine to explore. Let's see. How'd you end up as a zombie? Strange, I don't know. I'm not sure how I died, really. No matter. I love this guy. So, Arborea, the most wondrous place I could not ask for. Nowhere in my mortal life did I find such a place of such passion, such splendor. The beauty of the land, the people, magnificent. I tell you truly, I miss it even now. So what do you know of this place? Not so much. I signed a contract with the Dustman on a whim. She had pointed out the dreadful place to me once, told me my corpse would be raised and used as a labor. I thought, I'll have no need of it when I pass on the next life. Why not? Might as well take the silver and go spend it on some women and wine. He chuckles at the idea, the ghost lights in his eyes flashing merrily. Do you need... What? Sigil? Seeing your nod, the corpse smile, da-da-da. Oh, I'll not spoil it for you. Go and explore the place yourself. Get lost in the streets, its taverns, its people. But take care. It can be a dangerous as well as wondrous place, but that's what makes it so exciting. And I guess that's it. So we're done with him. And did I talk to this one? I think I did, but we'll use this anyway. So there's just some random corpse here that's super excited to be in the afterlife. And let's see here. I think in here was the one that had multiple things. Spirit blasts back into the body with such violence that a great singular muscular contraction, the corpse is hurtled backward. Its body is on its feet again in an instant, dancing and thrashing madly, waving its arms and popping its stitches. Flaps of loosened flesh flop about as in, whoa, holy shit. But this corpse sings as it whirls and leaps about you, the volume of the... Whoa. You are the spirit, I the living. Answer my questions you shall. Your confused expression seems to please it. It hooks its bony fingers into its mouth and pulls it into a ghastly grin, laughing maniacally and waggling its pasty white tongue. Very well, ask your questions. The spirit seems to be calm for a moment before exploding into a stream of mind-numbingly loud, babbled nonsense. The cacophony is almost maddening. It threatens to drive you to your knees, and as abruptly as it began, it stops. The corpse stands there, twitching quietly. I have a question. Questions of the living, shall the dead answer? The so it was, it is so, shall it be so? You my answer will questions. This guy must have been one of the Chaos Men. Okay. Okay, so it looks like... I guess I'm just gonna... So, as the spirit fades away from the corpse's jabbering mouth twists into a knowing smile. Its wild, flashing eyes bore into you with the piercing glare of a psychopath, and it whispers a single, carefully formed word, drawn out like a single... So, limbo. So this guy must be in limbo. And with that, it's gone, leaving you no... So, that guy is in limbo. That is obviously pure elemental chaos. So I'm going to use... So that's interesting. This body has multiple designations, but does not have anything from Stories Bones Tell. And that's a surprise to me. I would have expected... I'm gonna poke this thing in the eye. Corpse gives a muffled yelp as you jab it in the eye, and its hands shoot up to cover its face. It begins mumbling what you take for obscenities under its breath. So, why are you disguised as a corpse?
Journal.
The zombie is trying to respond behind stitched lips. It has a peculiar, half-frightened, half-angry expression. Who you? What you want? Who are you? Let's see. What you hear? You spy on Dusties? Okay, why don't you tell me what you're doing here before I call the guards? He seems frightened for a moment, then studies you as you sneer crawls across his face. You spill the dark on that one, me spill the dark on you. I have friends hid here. You got nobody. You're not supposed to be here. Dusties kill you, me escape. Okay, well... As you're turning to leave, the zombie makes a low growl in his throat. You say nothing to no one about me. You be quiet. Say nothing to Dusties. Shh. Or I gut you in your sleep. You hear me? Did you just threaten me?
Done.
Bad idea. Very, very bad idea. Commonoton is not necessarily always going to kill someone who threatens him, but someone who is clearly in a place that he doesn't belong, has been aggressive and antagonistic, and is clearly, like...
Done.
He's up to no good. Yeah, like... If somebody threatens Commonoton, it's not a wise plan to do so. Like, just generally. Okay, I'm going to use stories that bones tell, and the stories that bones do not tell in this case. So, interestingly enough, stories bones tell is usually number 2, but now it's 3, and 2 is the smock one. And let's see. The odors of fuming sulfur, cooked hair, and scorched blood assault your senses as the spirit returns to this one-time home. The corpse collapses to the floor, almost immediately, shuddering violently as it clutches itself and moans pitifully. Are you alright? The spirit opens one eye, the orb's whiteness stark against the gray, puckered flesh that surrounds it. It slowly turns its head so as to peer up at you, the blasted and scarified flesh of its face and neck pulling taut over the bone. It finally croaks from its ruined throat. No, I ain't, you piking alcove. Okay, can I do something to help? The spirit begins to laugh but stops abruptly, spasms violently, and vomits up a stream of embalming fluid and black putrescence. Racked with pain, the spirit begins to hack and cough. Occasionally... So, bad shit. No, Burke, you can't, unless you're gonna dance on into Beator and rescue me. I've hit the blinds. Time for my penance. I see. So, he's in Beator. So what did you do to deserve such torment? Deserve this? Nothing. I didn't do anything. Just trying to get by, just like everyone else. Then, poof, that goat son of a mage starts burning up the hive. Oh. Yeah, the hive, the worstest part of Sigil. I never seen so much fire in all of my life. I ran this way and that, trying to get a ways, but everything just bursting into flame. Buildings, streets, folks and their kids. And that thrice-blasted wizard just laughing all the time. I turned a corner and thought I got away for a bit, but next thing I do, I'm pocking heads on fire. It's pretty much went downhills from there. So who's the wizard? Dunno. It was pretty well cooked before anyone stopped him, if someone ever did. I think I remember some people's chasing after him, just started shouting his name. Or Ignis. I'm thinking it was. Ignis or something like that. I'm sure that piker's in a worse hole than me. So, who are you? None of your business. Okay. Where are you from? Sigil? How do you end up here? How do you think, clueless? Signed that Demeat away for a bit of jink, piking dusties, and right then, can you believe it? Some barmy wizard decides to blast the hive to flame in oblivion, with me stuck so in the middle. So, wizard burned down hive?
He had a hive. Da, da, da. So we've already asked about that part. So where do you think, you leather-headed basher? Beator in that stinking dung hole they call Phlegethos. Burn, burn, burn. That's all I do. I burned to death in life, and now I was burning in death. Ugh. The irony is just sickening. When I get out of here, I'm gonna toss so many sods into this damn hole. So why would you wish to inflict your fate on others? Revenge, you alcove. I was gonna get them all those that crossed me, especially that wizard. I was gonna tear off his wee bits and shove them down his throats. Then I'll throw him in this stinking hole, wee bits and all. Him and a few more for good measure, too. Okay, your fate seems well deserved. Spirit makes a wet, snarling noise. Its cracked, blackened lips pulling away at crooked yellow teeth. Just you wait till I gets out of this pit. I'm coming for you first. You do that. I'm not one to fear the likes of you. The spirit manages a weak guttural growl and spits at you. The foul stuff lands several inches short of your feet. Exhausted, the thing slumps back to the floor, and life comes out of the corpse once more. So I can't save it this time, presumably because that guy's approaching me. I'm going to make him stop approaching me, just walking down here. And down here we have another dustman. Let's talk to this worker. Okay. Story's Bone Tell doesn't work on that corpse, I think. I don't know if I've talked to this one yet. Okay. For a moment, you think the corpse is simply too far gone to reply, but suddenly you recognize true misery etched in its features and feel behind it a sense of despair so profound the spirit must have returned to its shell of old. What would you know, my lord? Who are you? I am no one, my lord, a wretched insect clinging desperately from the wasting tower of Oinos. I was once called Arabhim, though, my lord. So very long ago. So what's the wasting tower? Yes, my lord, 'tis a mighty tower, far greater than the highest of sigils. It has the appearance of bone, my lord, like the spinal column of some gargantuan creature. It is there that I toil, repairing the damage done to it by the armies of my master's foes, his rivals' princes. So who's the master? I know him only as the master, my lord, the lord of Kin Oin. He is a fiendish prince, an ultraloth of awesome power. It is he who owns my soul, and so shall forever own it, a petty thing doomed to languish beneath his foot until eternity grinds its way into oblivion. 'Tis a mighty tower. Da, da, da. Okay, so we already asked that. So, where are you from? I lived in Sigil, my lord, in the Hive. 'Twas not so awful a place I once thought, but now my home is Oinos. So, the Hive. Yes, my lord, a wretched place, but not so dreadful as Oinos. Da, da, da. The horrible Oinos, my lord, in the grey waste. It is there that my soul has been confined. And tell me more of Oinos. There's little to say, my lord. 'Tis the land of my master, the lord of Kin Oin, full of anguish and disease, a rot which decays both body and spirit. It is a place of utter hopelessness. Okay. So how'd you end up killed? I was murdered, my lord, by robbers. Filled with drink and stumbling through the alleyways of the Hive, I became lost and eventually fell prey to a band of thugs. 'Tis just as well. My life was probably worth less than the few coppers the collector may have gotten for my corpse. So why such a base opinion of your life? I would not speak of it, my lord. 'Tis not worth discussing. Okay. So we've already asked that. So why are you wrought with such despair? There's nothing else for me, my lord. Trapped in eternity as a pestilent waste of Oinos I am, there's no hope for one such as I. Okay. So what do you know of this place? Very little, my lord, only that the dead are brought here to be interred or cremated, or used as laborers, as my corpse has been. You do not realize the spirit has left the corpse until, with shuffling steps, the zombie returns to its labors.
All right.
I like how we're just completely interfering with the zombies going about their work. Okay, so no reply. And those three have nothing to say. Can talk to this one, and I think that's it for this floor. So... I thought... Did I actually ask Takone about my other companions? I don't think I did. So I'm going to talk to Takone.
What is your will?
So who are the others? So the tattoo speaks of 4 minds. One was a woman. So what can you tell me of the other 4? The woman was young. She worshipped time, for in her blood she knew the things to come. The archer was a blind man. He could see things that no one else could see. The path of his arrows always led to the heart of an enemy. The familiar, the slave I know little of. So tell me about the archer. I know little of him. I know he was a soldier. I know that alcohol had taken a portion of his life. In blindness he came to know a different sight. In knowing this, he had become strong. Yet he did not know his own strength. So what was his name? Before Takone can respond, you suddenly know the answer. There's a crawling sensation in the back of your skull. And you feel the name resurfacing as if from beneath the great ocean. So his name was Zachariah. He was blind, but in blindness he had gained the second sight that allowed him to see things hidden in others. He was an archer, and where his arrows flew, they found the hearts of their targets.
My journal.
Know that Zachariah was the name he carried, and know that his name pierced the heart of many enemies. Let's see. So why didn't you tell me? Okay, I've... Why were we traveling together? Know that the path was known to only you, and it was your will that we not know it. Know that those that walked your path knew only the symbol that bound them. Interesting. The woman's name was Dayanara? Know that Dayanara was the name she carried. So... Okay, thanks, Cone. So, we're a blind archer. So,
All right.
I'm curious about this.
Done.
I was under the impression that there was a zombie in here that we could talk to.
All right.
That would be relevant, and I'm trying to figure out where it is. The description of the archer doesn't match any of the people that we've talked to thus far. Oh, right, this one. The limbo one. Let's see. Let's pop down here. So I came in this way. So maybe it's in this room. Because I don't think I actually checked this. Did I? Probably.
I'm gone.
Yeah, I checked this room already. Guess I'm gonna go downstairs.
All right.
And where am I gonna go from here? Go up in here, and there's a zombie worker here. This might be it, because I don't think I talked to this one just now. What? What? Who's there? Answer me! Wait. What? Zachariah? What? You! By the lady's gaze. Aren't you dead, Cutter? Who are you? So it's hard to peel away this filthy shroud skin and see old Zachariah the fool beneath. It is I, Cutter. Blessed be the powers, I thought never to see you again. But you've changed too, as far as my ears can tell. Have you been making poor choices again? Be you dead too? It's long, but I'm not dead. Well, Cutter, I suppose being dead's not something one would doubt, though. How can you talk to me? Your voice is as clear as a knife. So what are you doing here? I'm a stable hand in the most lifeless place of all. Be it that I could pass beyond the eternal boundary and have a plane to call my home, but much of my soul was squandered and now I'm here. So
What's it like being a zombie? It's honest work. I care little for it. So what led you to this state? It's a hard path following in your footsteps, Cutter, and many terrible things that I see. I took to drink and became half-sodden with the stuff. Once, when I was sodding drunk, I signed my body off to the Dusties. Fate decided to kick me when I was down, and I died shortly thereafter. Alright, tell me about the mortuary. It's a place run by the dead. There's things not right here, though. I'll tell you the dark of it. There's a zombie that pretends to be a zombie, but isn't. I don't care much for knowing the reason why, but it's a strange thing. Which zombie is it? Even if my eyes allowed me to see him, I can't make sense of the numbers. Here's how you'll know him, Cutter. His voice is wrong for a zombie. He doesn't respond the way as the others. Anything else strange? Another thing, that old Githzera, the one that keeps the preparation all dull. He saved you from cremation a score of times. You're lucky to have a friend in that one. And let's see, previous life. Manner of speaking, yes. Well, you were a strange one. Always suspicious and watching for something. Reckon somebody like you's got enemies in your lifetimes, and there's no denying that anybody who messed with you ended up in the black chapters of the Dead Book. You could be damnably ruthless, too, like when you made me sign that contract or abandoned that one mewling chit in Avernus. We had a balor of a time as well. None of us ever entertained the notion to jump ship on your watch, son. Anything else? At your core, you looked at what happened to you like taking territory in a war. Everything was like a battle for you, and you were the most ruthless bastard I've ever met. Naught else mattered except solving that goal. Poor Daenar and her sobbing and pleading with you didn't sway you from none. The Gith warning you about your strategies, and poor Zachariah just trying to hold on when we hit the plains. You were tough like you couldn't die, but we were only human. So I guess we're all in the Dead Book, or in and out of it, so to speak. So, anything else? You left something when you left us, Cutter. You left a cone without a master and the skull without a friend. The skull without a friend, huh? Me? You stabbed something so cold inside me it never came out when I was alive. What? Caused my blood to run cold. It did. The thing sitting there like a lump of lead in my chest. What is it? I don't know, but it changed me somehow. It changed my insides. I was already dying when you put it in me, so I wasn't too concerned about it at the time. Can I have it back? It's buried pretty deep, but I have an idea of where it is. Without a scalpel and some directions from me, you won't be able to get it out. You got a scalpel? Yep. Open up half. Okay. A little more to the left, a little more. You pull out a zombie liver. By the lady's gaze. Apologies, Cutter. Thought them dustmen took all the organs out of us before pulling us out of the Dead Book. Give it another go. Maybe it's to the right. There you go. Now go a little bit to the right and back a little more. You feel something hard and cold, slightly larger than you expected. I think that's it. Pull it out. You're holding a blackened fist-sized object that's extremely heavy for its size. That's it, all right. Huh. Bigger than I thought it'd be. Is that what it looks like? Looks like a heart. I think so. Alright, so tell me about... Oh, that's what I wanted, actually. I'm actually looking for information on the companion. So, Daenerys. That feisty chit who would be a soldier swore she'd follow you to Beator and back, and by the powers, she was so addled by the thought of you without her, she did just that. Cared little for me or the Gith, and a bare little thing it was. And a bare little it was. She was wild with heart poison for you. She was proof she was barmy. I don't understand what the women folk saw in your scarred mug, but it set their blood aboil. She was some rich scut from the clerk's ward, and you needed something from her, and the only price was that she came with you. So what did I want from her? One of the darks I never did bring to light, Cutter. Perhaps you can tell me? No idea. So, previous companions. Motley crew he was. A half-dead man who couldn't get himself penned in the Dead Book if he tried, so ugly all the powers of death wouldn't take him. A wailing advocate's daughter. A Gith exile. A bobbing jackal-tongued skull, and half-sodden blind archer like myself. So let's ask about the Gith. Grim-looking Gith. Unfriendly and silent, like all their kind. Didn't trust that Gith a lick, I didn't. See, Cutter? Them spindly Giths care only about two things. Keeping out of slavery and killing them squid-headed lithids. Everything else is just lower down the slope, and he didn't give a damn about any of us other than you. So why was that? One of the darks I never did bring to light, etc., etc. Previous companions. Let's ask about the floating skull. Oh, do you know what happened to my journal? That scrapbook that you stitched together out of your own flesh and had more pages than I had in my life? Good fortune indeed if you lost that ghoulish book, always scribbling at you were and it smelled of fright. It was like you were afraid of any moment someone would take it away. You wrote in it till skin tore from your fingers, and I wondered if you were trying to spill your brain box through your pen. Sometimes we would hold up the days when you wrote it. I hated that infernal book. It seemed to hold you by the heart and not in the kind way. The last I saw of it, Cutter, it was your possession. If you don't carry it, I don't know where on the planes it could be. So about those companions, let's ask about the floating skull. That filthy talking skull was hankering for a bruising, so it was. Always smarting off, it was always making fun of my condition. Interesting. Blind archer. That I was. You truly have forgotten, haven't you? All men see with more than their eyes, Cutter. Some of them better than others. I sense the hearts of my foes. Your foes, and my arrows always struck true. Ah, those were the times. Okay, so anything else I can ask? And I think we're done here. So... okay. I think we're done with Zechariah. Before I go, I need you to do me a slight favor, Cutter. I made some mistakes, some damn bad ones to be sure, and one of the biggest was signing the Dustman contract. If I hadn't been so sodden with Bub, I wouldn't have done it. I regret it, and I was hoping you could set it right. Okay, how? Way I reckon it, this body's gonna last a long time, and every day's too long to me. Maybe you could gut me again, Cutter, for old time's sake. The thought of spending another batch of years here at the mortuary with these white faces is a mighty cold one. Can you see it fit to put me back in the dead book where I belong? If that's your wish. You gut him, and Zechariah falls to the floor with a heavy thud. There's a faint hiss from the body, and you can see the chest heave once, then with a faint rattle, the corpse goes silent. Rest in peace, my friend. Rest in peace. Okay, so we need to take Phineas's key back. We need to do this. So, Zechariah's heart. This blackened fist-sized object is more of a lump of burning charcoal than Zechariah's heart. It's extremely heavy for its size, and cracks run along the surface. It looks like it might break in two at any moment. Handling it leaves strange rust-colored streaks in your hands that won't come off. Something about the object's weight makes you curious enough to study it for longer. Upon a closer examination, what you first took was Zechariah's heart is in fact a stone. As far as you can tell, there's no sign that this was ever living tissue. How Zechariah survived with this beating in its chest is unknown. Whatever blessing was laid upon Zechariah's eyes that allowed his arrows to fly true has left its mark on the heart as well. When Zechariah's heart is broken in two, the breaker of the heart will gain a portion of Zechariah's sight. Excuse me. Agility and perception. This gives the breaker a bonus to their dexterity and a chance of spotting and dodging any missiles aimed at them. So we can go ahead and use this. This is usable only by fighters. It gives us a +1 dex and +1 to armor class. And so now we should have 17 dexterity. And this gives us an additional point of armor class. So how cool is that?
Done.
So we finished with Zechariah. I'm going to talk to our dear friend Morty now.
Hey, what's eating you, Chief?
So how did you die? No idea, Chief. I kind of forgot when I died. I can't blame myself too much. At least there was something for me waiting after I died, even if his life was a floating skull. I mean, it could have been worse. I don't know, alright? It's just gone. But don't think I miss it, because I'm happy the way I am. I don't need your half-wit judgments or snide remarks. Okay, right? Okay. Can you read what's tattooed up my back again? Ah, come on, Chief. Don't tell me you forgot again. No, I think I want to hear all of it this time. Go ahead, refresh my memory. And let's see. Keep going. What does it say after that? What are you talking about, Chief? There isn't any more. What about don't trust the skull? Oh, that bit at the end. Well, I figured it was washed, so I didn't read that line out loud. And what do you think it means? Do you think it refers to you? I doubt it. I mean, you can trust me, right, Chief? Are you lying to me, Morty? No, come on, what's your problem, Chief? I haven't steered you wrong yet. Yet. I don't like the fact that you didn't read that line, and I'd like to know what else you've neglected to mention since we've been traveling together. Nothing, I've told you everything. Well, almost everything, but nothing you don't... dangerous. I suggest you tell me now. Chief, seriously, there's nothing else. I won't hold back on you.
let's see. And said you're mirror. Okay, so oh yeah, Zachariah's liver. Delicious. There's a small bottle here. Merc. Okay, this is very dark liquid. Okay, I don't know what that has as a purpose, but sure. We can go ahead and dump this in his inventory. And let's dump the Charm of Infinite Recall. And let's see what else we need. We have not rested, so we can't identify that. What else are we going to do? So, blood charms. Or charms. And let's see here. Alright, so let's take a look here. I can't talk to him about the fact that Zachariah just told me that I had a floating skull with me at the time, which seems odd. I'm gonna talk to Anna, see if...
What is it you wanted?
So, when Farad went to return the tribute... Oh, I to hear tell of it, Stuttercrutch has a stash pit somewhere close to him. It's the only reason why I can see why he sets a kip up in a filthy, drafty hall. Nothing but stinking shadows. That's where he puts the tribute he gets? Aye. Now what are you on about? You planning to bob him? After all that running about, I'm tempted to. I'm warning you against such a thing. I am. Farad can be daft sometimes, but he's mean as all fiend spit when he gets worked up, and he loves his keepsakes, he does. So where does he keep it all? Well, I know he's never left his hall to get his tribute. He wouldn't want to walk far with that lame leg of his. That's true, but only if you don't watch him carefully. He isn't lame, though he puts on a fair bit a show about being weak with his legs. So the crutch of his could be the portal key. Aye, there's a thought. I wouldn't know how you'd use it, though. Maybe you just have to have it. Let's see. So Anna, did you find anything? Mayhap I found something, but if I found anything, it's mine by right. It is da-da-da. What did you find on my corpse? I have some fist irons he did, and a bit of jink. I left that for the Dusty so they'd think I was a wee bit honest. He had an ugly ring that I kept. She dips her finger into her arm braces and pulls forth a small ring with a stone mountain on it. Worth thrice more than the jink than the irons it was. I'd like the ring back. Okay. Didn't want the ugly ring anyway, I didn't. So, what stuff? It's his right being Lord of the Village. It's a lot of corpses. Oh, aye, to hear tell of it, Stuttercrutch has got a stash pit hidden. Okay, so we've already gotten this. And let's see. That's right. Tell me about Farad. Well, Stuttercrutch, he's my dad. Well, not real dad. Found me when I was a wee girl. He needed a collector to crawl into places the rest of the fat gullies couldn't squirm, so he took me under his crutch. Yeah, you don't look much alike. Yeah. And his eyes narrows her air till lashes back and forth. Oh, what do you mean by that? I mean, you don't look like each other. Because a tiefling is part human, part demon, right? So, like, the two of them don't look similar. He's, like, got a completely different hair color, and he looks like a crotchety old man. But, like, if he paired off with a demon, like a female demon, then you could end up with a tiefling. Though I don't think a tiefling is actually a half demon. But, like, if he pairs up with someone who is a tiefling, you'll end up with a tiefling kid. So I didn't mean anything particularly. Oh, no, what could have tipped you off to that? My hair? My skin? I can't think of anything else. Let's see. Maybe it was the tail? Oh, that might have been it. You're so much sharper than I am. You are a real gem. I'm not. A dagger's a dagger, so it is. Also saying that you look nothing alike. The two of you don't have much in common. Oh, is that so? And how do you see that? Oh my god, this is so horrible. So, let's see. Okay, so I'm gonna go with this. I don't think... The funny thing is that I don't think that Komanatin would even consider this to be, like... When Komanatin looks at a body, he's looking at the, like... He's looking at it the same way that, like, an architect would look at, like, a piece of raw material, like marble or some other thing, right? And I guess when you look at it, it would be like looking at a building, right? So he doesn't mean any of this in sort of like a sexual way. He's just looking at her and going like, well, clearly you are very well assembled, and Therid is this like horribly wretched, ugh, like what the hell. So that's what he's going with here. This isn't like some sort of like attempt to seduce her or anything. So that's what I meant when I said you and Farron look nothing alike. And it's still staring at you. She doesn't even blink. Are you listening to me? Anna suddenly leans in and then bites you sharply on the neck, giving you a soft hiss. Rather than pulling back, she presses closer to you and whispers in your ear, "Do you fancy your chances?" Her tail begins to lash slowly back and forth, but the rhythm is more hypnotic than angry. You can feel Anna's heart beating fast in her chest and the color rising in her cheeks. You suddenly become conspicuous the fact that Anna's skin is smooth, soft, blah, blah, blah. I want to tell you something, and you can't poke fun at me. So you suddenly become conscious of the fact that Anna's skin is smooth and soft. So again, this isn't sort of like a sexual thing so much as Komanich and just being like, huh, you know, for someone who's, you know, a fighter and a thief and, you know, you know, it's actually rather remarkable that she's managed to have, you know, her skin maintain its smooth, it's, anyway. Do you like... Do you know I like the way you smell? Oh, aye, it drives me balmier than a Chaos Man it does. She sniffs up the sides of your cheek and gives you a low, eager hiss. I see the way you look at me and I like it. You've got a hungry eyes, you do. It makes me a fire. So, I want to bite you soft like around the neck. She teases your neck. This is getting very... This is escalated very quickly. Her hand slides up the back of your neck and tightens as you can feel her nails digging into your skin. I want to drag my nails across the back of your neck and force you to kiss me. I'd just like to interject here and point out that I'm not going to say anything to spoil the mood, Chief. I'll just float here and watch. Don't mind me. That's me. Just sitting here floating watching. That's me. Do you know I can smell you from 50 paces? You smell the formaldehyde pouring off of you like one of them dusty shamblers. Maybe if you cleaned yourself up, you'd be a right prize. I'd make passion with you so hard you'd be knocked off the spire. So, do you fancy me? So this is an interesting situation. I'm actually not sure. I'm not, like, of these three options, I feel like he might bite her back. Now, this is like going with the idea of like none of these options are indicative that he doesn't understand what's going on, right? So, but I do feel like he would be very like, with all of his memories lost and all that kind of stuff, I feel like he would be so far removed from that kind of thing that his responses would be very like, he's not really sure what's going on, right? So it's clear from her response that he's like, that she's being friendly and that bite is considered to be friendly. So I'm going to go with biting her back because he thinks that that's what she's looking for more so than he actually really fully understands what's going on. So you grab Anna, and before she can squirm free, you bite her lightly on the neck. As your teeth touch the skin, Anna hisses loudly, clawing like a cat, and tears away from you. I was only teasing you, you scarred vampire. Leave me off. Despite her protestations, however, her face is flushed and she's breathing heavily. And watch your mitts next time. You're making me red, Yar. So you bite me, I bite you. If you don't like it, then don't do it. I'll do what I please, so I will. You just keep your mitts off me, here? Okay, I have other questions for you. I love it. So, let's see. Anything else? No. Okay. So, that was amusing. That was a cute little interlude with our little friend here. We don't have somebody to let us out the door, but we can walk out now, it looks like. What else are we going to do? We've got the stairs up to the second level. I'm going to talk to Dayanara and see if she has anything new for us to talk about. We have stories bone tell, but I don't think I need that for Dayanara. So,
My love, you have returned to me. Can it be that your memories have returned?
and let's see. And let's see. I
I
don't.
shall wait for you in death's halls, my love.
So I feel like she doesn't have anything new to talk to me about. So we're just going to pop out of here. Are we done? I think we're done in this area. And we can just move on out. Anything else? I don't think so. So I think we're probably ready to go through the Tenement of Thugs. I think for now, let's take a look. I'm going to check how long the stream has been live for. I'm thinking about taking a short break. It is 1:30. So I'm thinking maybe I'll take a break before I continue on. I thought that that was kind of an interesting little gizmo. How do I get out of here? Do I have to get rid of the quick loop bar? Yes, I do.
I'm gone.
We got touts, we got morns for trees, we've got a full HB friend, and we're ready to save the game. Okay, so I think I'm going to end things here for now. We'll take a break, and then I'll possibly do a bit more streaming later today, or I will possibly do it later this week, possibly tomorrow. So that's going to be it for right now. Thank you everyone for watching. It has been a pleasure to stream for you today, and I hope to see you all again next time.